Welcome back to Card Corner. Today we are doing an unboxing and review of the brand new Missing New York Fontaine Collage deck. All right, here it is, the Missing Fontaine collaboration. Two of my favorite card companies in the world have come together and made a beautiful, beautiful baby. Easily one of the hypest moments from Cardistry in London this year was the surprise announcement and video drop of the Missing and Fontaine Collage deck. Fontaine has been MIA now for about half a year with no releases, no announcements. It was later revealed through a post that Zach intentionally took a creative hiatus, and they are currently rethinking what they want to do with the company in the future in terms of creative projects, which I think is a good move. A lot of people have said, including Zach himself in the post, that the amount of Fontaines that dropped the last year were too much. It has led to burnout and fatigue, especially with the more corporate aspects with the Nickelodeon decks and the Sesame Street collab. So Fontaine doing a small collaboration with a small cardistry focused company was a very, very good move that a lot of people very much enjoyed. Big congratulations to Missing, and big congratulations to Fontaine for recognizing what the fans were saying, taking a step back, as well as taking a step in the right direction. So here we are, they chose the collage deck from Missing's line to do their collab on. Right on the box it says Missing Fontaine Collage, 1 of 1,000. There's that back design on the back of the tuck box, and we get the design all throughout the sides here as well. Doesn't have any information on the bottom when it comes to manufacturing, but I went to the Missing website and this is what I found. These are air cushion finish, and the stock that these were printed on is, and I quote, 310 GSM German black core stock. Sounds like a frickin' metal band, dude. These were printed in Wang Jing Printing Co. I'm not familiar with this company, but they are based in China. That's a move that a lot of card brands have been doing lately. The United States Playing Card Company has become more expensive to go through, so many brands have been branching out and doing a lot of printing outside of the United States Playing Card Company. So it'll be very interesting to see what these feel like. We got a pull tab here so you can open your cards nice and easily. Oh. So soft. This is a matte tuck box, so they're super smooth. They feel really, really nice. They're really soft. Got two jokers right here. There's the Ace of Spades, very, very nice. Not only does it have the Fontaine logo in the paper there, but the actual ace itself is very collagey and papery. Whoa! Oh, it's always the 7, isn't it? Missing loves doing things with their pips. I feel like there's always like the 7 of something is always funky. Love the pip manipulation. As is the case with a lot of Missing decks, we have that square of back design in the pip there. The face cards as well with that pinkish reddish paper design going through the clothes and the hat. All black pips is very on brand for Missing. A lot of their decks feature all black pips. I'm a fan of the all black pips. I think they look pretty cool. Ooh, we got a nice little corner of the F there in this square. That's very cool. A little less of the design in some of these cards, but I like that. I like that there's a little bit of variations and that there's some blank space in the middle here. Just tiny little touches here and there. It's very cool. Got another square there. Very, very nice. Oh, here we go. These are the actual jokers I see now. So we got the classic Fontaine Fs for the jokers and the Missing logo right in the middle. That's very, very classy, very minimalist. It looks pretty smooth. I dig that. So these cards over here are just ad cards, essentially. They're nice and smooth. This deck is thick, though. They're quite heavy. They got some weight to them. That's a lot of what I've heard online, is a lot of people saying how thick these cards are. They're quite chunky. A lot of people are saying they're good for packet cuts. I'm not gonna act like Thin Crush stock is the king of kings of stock. It's good to have different decks with different stocks, different feelings. So I'm not gonna write this deck off on its stock just yet, but it is notable that these are thicker and heavier, and they will need some getting used to. All right, let's give them an out-of-box rating. Back design. You know, I really dig this back design a lot. It's a one-way back design, but it's a pretty minimalist one-way back design. There's enough symmetry where it looks like a two-way, but obviously it has things like the missing logo torn in half over here and over here, as well as like a little bit of red in the F over here as opposed to the white. I think the collage deck was the way to go in terms of a collaboration when it came to incorporating both the Fs from the Fontaine as well as Missing's logo. This just makes the most sense. I love the color in this thing. It's not really red, it's more like a raspberry. You got pink and raspberry and shades of purple and other shades that mix all those in between. It's a really pretty color. I really like this back design. I think it pops quite well. I'm gonna give this back design a solid 9.5 for now. Feel. Like I said, these are thick boys, so I really don't know how I feel about them yet. For now, I'm going to give them like a 7.5, and that's just because I don't know where I stand on them yet. Overall theme and aesthetic. Like I said, I think this was the best deck to choose for a collaboration deck between the two companies. I think it makes sense. I love the color scheme. As with all Missing decks, I love all the little squares and the pips with the back design incorporated, as well as that 1 7 of spades with the missing pip. The Ace of Spades is really nice with that collage theme. And the Jokers, like I said, are minimalist and classy. They look sharp. Right now, I'll give them a 9 out of 10 for theme and aesthetic. All right, that just about does it. I'm going to handle these. I'm going to play with them for a while, and I will be right back. Okay, I've had quite some time to play around with these. I opened these up at least a month ago. I get busy with things, okay? It's been a minute, okay? It's been a minute since I've filmed. Shut up. I've had plenty of time to play around with these, and here is my final score of the Fontaine Missing Collage deck. Back design. My out-of-the-box score for the back design was a 9.5. My final score remains a 9.5. I think the back design is really nice. I love the colors. I also love how it's a one-way back design, but busy enough and symmetrical enough to kind of give the appearance of a two-way as well. Feel. My out-of-the-box score for the feel was originally a 7.5. I gave it a 7.5, just kind of as a placeholder. My final score for how these handle and feel is going to be a 7.3. Could have been better, could have been worse. Like I've said many times, these are quite heavy, and I would be lying if I said that didn't hinder me from picking them up sometimes. Not that they're a bad deck, but there have been a few times where I've felt the weakness in my hands and I've gone, not today, not this deck. Minimum, I have to ditch the ad cards in order to actually use this deck. Not that I can't use it, but in order for me to use them and not be too big of a deck, I sometimes even get rid of the Jokers. If you get rid of those 4 cards, the deck becomes way more manageable, but it's mainly the weight of the cards. This feels like 1.5 cards right here, you know? I will say its saving grace is the texture. The edges have a really smooth finish, and I know it sounds bad, but they almost have a plasticky coat over them, but not in a bad way. I really like how they feel texturally. If it had the same finish but with slightly thinner cards, the score would be a little higher. That being said, this is not the worst feeling deck I've had. They still fan really well. They still handle pretty well. It kind of just feels like an exercise for your fingers when you're using this deck. Overall theme and aesthetic. Out of the box, I gave these a 9. In my opinion, it hasn't changed. I still give these a 9. Again, the use of the back design when it comes to the little squares and the pips, or the color coding in the court cards, the all black pips, the missing pip, the way they incorporated the Fontaine logo as well as the missing logo. I think they did a great job, so they still get a 9 out of 10 when it comes to theme and aesthetic. Overall, that gives a final score of 8.5. So overall, still a pretty high score for Fontaine and Missing. Again, congratulations to Missing for landing this collaboration. Congrats to Fontaine for making a well-received and notable comeback into the cardistry community. And that's about it. That's all I have to say about these guys. Overall, I really enjoyed this deck. And I'd say get them, but you're not going to be able to get these unless they're pretty overpriced on eBay. But if you got the coin to spill on that, then yeah, sure, get them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. I got a cat.